I agree with you 100%. I'm picking Khabib in the fight. And you may think it's because I'm biased, but it's also it's not more biasness as it is I train with him and have felt that wrestling. And when he grabs you, if he can get in on you, right? Because I'm a pretty fast striker, and so it's like I can keep people at bay and counter and stay at distance. When he can get in on you and grab you from multiple different positions, to be honest with you, you have no ability to balance yourself. Like when he grabs you, you lose the ability to balance yourself, which kind of sends panic to your brain, because I've always been bigger than him, but he still grabs me and it's like a heavyweight. His grip strength is crazy. And then he'll put you in weird, like he has such weird balance, or actually makes you have such weird balance, that you never feel balanced, that you can control staying on your feet, and then he can just put you where he wants. And I think that's such a scary thing.
How'd you feel seeing Khabib fly out of the octagon like that? And
that was crazy. We were all sitting there just like, what is going on right now? This is insane. Good for him.
Does it make you feel any different about the bus incident? Like they're even now 1-1 outside the octagon?
I don't know. The bus incident's kind of like a different thing. It's kind of, well, it's a little more criminal. You know, you're not going after innocent girls on the bus, UFC employees. The bus driver probably doesn't even watch fighting. He doesn't even know what's going on. You know, but I was on that bus, and that was not cool. I thought we were all dying. I thought there was things flying through the window. That was scary. Reed Harris is yelling, "What's going on?" And Provino put his head. He was sitting like this, and he put his head like that in the position, like the airplane position, where when the plane's going down, and Khabib was making fun of him. He was going, "Provino, you got in the airplane position. You thought the plane was crashing." It was crazy. Everyone, it was the mayhem.
In the immediate aftermath of like Khabib jumping out, there was, obviously Dana was upset. There was a lot of sort of hand wringing about how the way it presented the sport. But I mean, you seem like you kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yes.
I've been saying this. Poirier is the man. He's tough as nails. He's proven that he's war ready. But Khabib's like fucking. He's like rubber. You just bounce off and sticks to you. Like I don't know. I don't see nobody beating that dude, man. Like maybe if I get there soon enough and I give him a piece of my mind, but that motherfucker's like horrible. He's stubborn. He's irritating, and he's just relentless. Like those are the worst kind of fighters. Stubborn, relentless, and he doesn't have a bitch in him. Like if he was a little bitch, it'd be different. We like turn away, but he don't turn away. He just walks straight through shows. And like, this dude's stupid. Like when he fought Barbosa, and Barbosa kicked him in the stomach like 4 times, he went like this. And I'm sitting like, oh, dude, I would throw up. I'm like that type of pressure. That type of pressure like breaks your mental. Like if you're not ready for that type of shit, it'll just break you. And I think I've seen like Poirier's bad, but I've seen Poirier take a break against Eddie Alvarez. I saw him take a break, like a mental break. Take a break against Eddie Alvarez, you're not ready for the type of shit Khabib's going to bring. Like, so I mean, it'll be an interesting fight, but I don't see him getting past Khabib at all.
Favorite fighter now?
Khabib.
Okay, so Khabib's your favorite
Khabib,
fighter.
man.
Why?
Because not only he kicks ass, he's honorable. He doesn't talk shit unless he means it. Like, that's not talking shit. If you're talking shit about someone and you really mean it, it's not like you're shit talking. You're just telling how you feel about the person. And he's honorable. He's like one of those a martial artist fighting in this entertainment MMA today. I like that.
I say this kind of all the time, that usually when there's a high level grappler like that, and especially when they haven't lost, I'm just gonna keep riding that train. I am not gonna go up against that. So I gotta take Khabib. I mean, he's just the way he ragdolls people on the ground. I need to see someone be able to actually stop it before I'm gonna be ready to. No one even stops the takedown, really. I mean, he gets almost like every single one. So you can't pick against the guy. It's impossible.
He's your weight class, so how would you strategize to fight him?
Well, your cardio's got to be great. I think that I'm a real good athlete, and I wrestled my whole life. So I actually think that him shooting some of the takedowns he shoots would be problematic for him to finish, because I'm really good in some of those, the ones that he likes to finish. I have really good defense, but his persistence, you got to turn yourself into a machine or he will break you down eventually. So that's where the emphasis has to go.
Khabib, man, how can you, that guy just like is unstoppable. Even standing, man, like people like sleep on his standing too, but like, he's so fast twitch and just so strong. But Poirier, man, like the way Poirier is talking, his mind is in a place where he's winning that fight. So, and I mean, the way he's speaking, he's making me believe it. But I mean, I can't go against Khabib. I think he's unreal, that guy.
At press conference in London before this fight, Khabib, he actually praised you as a fighter. He said a lot of good things about you, but he also said that you had never felt a pressure like the pressure he was going to put on you, that you had never felt anything like that before. Can you say something about it? What is that like, Khabib's pressure?
It's tough, you know, like I said, he didn't feel overwhelmingly strong, but he felt very intelligent with his balance, with his decisions. When he would regrip or trip me along the fence, he's just very skilled grappler with good hips. You know, his pressure felt high level.
But then I ask, why is he an underdog on Saturday?
Well, he's an underdog because he's fighting a guy who's 26-0, a guy who's incredibly dominant, a guy who has never lost a round in the UFC. This is a guy, Khabib Nurmagomedov, whose greatest strength is arguably Conor McGregor's greatest weakness, and that's his wrestling. And when you're facing a guy like Khabib, a guy who grew up in Dagestan, in the mountains, a guy, if you go on YouTube, Scott, and you type in Khabib Nurmagomedov bear, you will see footage of a 7-year-old Khabib Nurmagomedov wrestling a bear. And this is no joke. That's how he grew up. He grew up wrestling bears. He's unbelievable. In my opinion, he's the most dominant force in the history of the sport. So that's essentially why Conor McGregor, in a nutshell, is a underdog going into this fight.
Thoughts on this past Saturday's fight with Khabib and McGregor?
I didn't watch the fight. I was able to look up online, watch like the Facebook and Instagram videos of it. Yeah. It looked like Khabib out there and mollywopped him. It looked like he murked him. He dropped him standing up, right?
Yeah, he did. He dropped him
standing up. Like, wow, okay. And then he does what he does best, and he just has with his little child, basically. You know? It's me wrestling my 12-year-old nephew or something, right? You know, it'll look like Khabib and Conor. It is what it is.
Now, how would you have handled the fight in the sense of, you know, everything that led up to it, the disrespect of the family, the religion, and father, and everything? Like, how would you have handled dealing with all that stress and aggravation?
I'm kind of the same way. I was never a big talker. I'm not a big talker. I refuse to ever be a big talker. That's not me. That's not who I am. But if you're going to disrespect me, if you're going to take it too far, you can get ready for a fight. You can promote the fight. Hey, big fight coming up. It's going to be awesome, yada, yada. You can sell the fight. Sure, no problem. When you take it too far, you make it personal, and you go that line. You want to go that route. I'm not going to be very nice either.
Khabib, he's just his wrestling and his top pressure is something else. You know, he just takes guys down. He locks up the hands and just his pressure and just beats him up. You know.
You were on site in Abu Dhabi for Khabib Nurmagomedov's big win, and we can't forget about Islam Makhachev.
Yeah.
Isn't it exciting now that with Khabib attached to that win, now we're talking about lightweight GOAT or maybe GOAT, bar none, any weight class? It's got to be exciting for you and the team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in my opinion, he is the GOAT. You know, that's the guy, like, you know, not only inside the cage but outside the cage, like the way he poses himself and expresses himself. You know, the guy's never changed from the first day I met him. Maybe had 2 fights in the UFC to now he's UFC champion. He's making millions of dollars. You know, he's doing positive things in the world. And the guy's never changed. Money didn't change him. Fame never changed him. And I think that's a role model younger fighters should look at and try to be someone, you know, like that guy. So.
Give me an idea just how big of a global star is this guy? just in Abu Dhabi alone, did you have some moments where you were like, oh my gosh, wow?
I mean, they built that arena for him. So that guy is a star. I mean, just on Instagram alone, he has 16 million followers. In the Muslim world, I don't know, there's like how many billion Muslims in the world. You know, he's not only gigantic in the Middle East and Russia, but I think he's starting to become a big star even in the U.S. You know, Ali's getting calls about movie deals. You know, maybe there's something that could happen in the future.
He's the best MMA grappler I've ever seen. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean he's the best at submissions? No. Does that mean he has the best ground and pound I've ever seen? No. Does it mean he's the best back taker I've ever seen? No, because he's not. He's not any of those things. Demian Maia might be the best back taker. Best ground and pound? I'm not sure. I don't know. I have to think about that a little bit more. But, and you know, best submissions, you might go back to Demian Maia. You might go to, I don't know, if Jacare really wanted to. So you could pick other ones, basically. But in terms of combining a legitimate threat into all three smoothly, I don't know who's better. I don't know who can take you down, maintain contact, and you can't tell whether you have to block the ground and pound, whether you have to worry about your back being taken, or a submission all at the same time. Opponent over opponent over opponent, year over year over year, challenge over challenge over challenge. I don't know who does that. I don't know who does that. Not at that level. Not in that unique way. Consider, like I mentioned this before, like Covington's really good at getting control and sticking to you in the same way Khabib is. But he doesn't have the same positional advancement threat. He certainly doesn't have the same ground and pound threat. And he doesn't have the same submission threat. It's not the same. Kamaru Usman can get you down and he can ground and pound, but he's not really the same kind of submission threat. Demian Maia can get you down depending. He's got an unorthodox style. And he can submit you, but he's not really all that much for ground and pound. Ben Askren, when he can get going, obviously got great takedowns. And he's got good positional advancement, but not the heaviest ground and pound. And he's got some submissions, but that's not really his forte either, right? Khabib's got all of those things at a higher level on average than those other guys. He does not have the same specialization per se, but when he can combine all of that stuff in the same way that he does, dude, I don't know who can do that. I don't know who can match that. I don't know, and I don't think the answer is I don't think anybody can. Not in the way that he does it. He is a remarkable talent. He is the best MMA grappler I've ever seen for those reasons, and he's doing it at lightweight against very, very tough guys. Very tough guys, man. And he's just making it look effortless, you know? And then he beats up on these guys to the point where certain positions feel a little static, feel a little bit calm. You know, you're in the eye of the hurricane, and that's when he snatches up the choke, you know? That's how he got Dustin. Dustin let his guard down for a moment, metaphorically speaking, of course, and then he just slithered, you know, the arm through. He's